We did talked a lot before the game about having a better start than last night. We really let Merrimack dictate the play in the first period on Friday, and we talked about it, and it was great to see the effort and I guess the sharpness of especially the first 10 minutes of that first period. We jumped on them. That was a lone line. Really set a great tone for us. Obviously scoring first, but also just playing the right way and being sharp and playing with a lot of tempo. So the rest of the guys fed off that line, and we had a much more successful start than on Friday. And we slowed down a little in the second period, especially on the power play. I thought we didn't have the killer instinct as much as we have most of the year. So that gave them some confidence, and obviously they were going to make a push in the second period anyway, which we knew about, but then their penalty killing, I thought, gave them a lot of energy. And they were dictating much more of the play until that 3-on-3 goal, I thought. So third was, we moved our legs better in the third compared to the second, and were able to create some more offensive chances. So I did like the way we finished too.
Did you find that Jack's goal in the second sort of settled the game down, given they had sort of a funky goal and then there was a bunch of penalties and then you sort of scored to bring the lead back?
Yeah, that was a huge goal. The game could have gone either way there because they were making better plays than we were. They were dictating more. They had the momentum, and then that goal's kind of to reestablish the 3-goal lead. Gave us a little boost on our bench, and it seemed to go better for us from that time on.
With the preliminaries out of the way now, you got the big ones next weekend. Are you happy with or satisfied with where your team is at this point, and how much have you watched BU up till now?
Watched them a bit, but we're satisfied with our record and where we are. We always think we can play better and be sharper, but we've played well enough to put ourselves in a good position. We're right behind BU in the league and in the national standings or the pairwise. So it's going to be a great test for us. They're in front of us. They're right in front of us, and we have a real challenge to try and catch up. So when I have watched them on video, they do so many things well. Celebrini is obviously a special player, but they've got lots of guys up and down the lineup. They play to their identity very well, and we know it's going to be a fun weekend.
Mark referenced the preliminaries, but is it a concern when you go into this weekend, that the team could be looking ahead, and how did you think that you guys responded in this series?
If they were, Merrimack sure took that out of us Friday night in the first period. So I don't think they were doing that. We know in Hockey East every weekend is a battle. So I think it was more to Merrimack's credit than us thinking of anyone else. But now that we are through this weekend, the guys talked about it after the game. We have an exciting weekend in front of us, and it's time to enjoy this win and move on quickly.
Is it nice to sort of see the rivalry get back to this? I mean, BCBU is always special, but now it's one versus two, and go back to when you were playing. It's nice to see this rivalry.
Right. It's great that both teams are doing well. Personally, I think the rivalry is always there. I think it's going to get more national coverage and everything because both teams have had such successful first halves. But to the players, it really doesn't go away. It's always, the intensity is always, whether the teams are having good seasons or average seasons. I think the intensity between the two teams and the rivalry doesn't go away on the ice.
Is it difficult to get guys to kind of treat this upcoming week as we're thinking of? Because you want emotions being kind of, I'm sure you don't want to play emotionally, right? So is it tough to kind of try to keep them as you can? I'm sure it can.
That's a huge part of trying to be successful is not letting the emotions get the best of you. You've got to play with the right amount of intensity, but you have to keep a clear head. If you get too jacked up and aren't thinking clearly, then it's going to be a really tough night for you. So we talk about that, and these guys have been in big games before, so I suspect they have kind of a routine now of how to keep themselves emotionally in check and playing their best hockey.